This is a far cry from Brady and Roethlisberger, Coach Cowher, Belichick, Coach. This is as bad as it gets. I haven't seen, and I don't know, this total is outrageously low. So the Patriots obviously shut out yesterday by the Chargers. Bailey Zappi, we think, will start this game on Thursday night. I think that's the plan, right, is that Zappi will start on Thursday night. Ramondre Stevenson is very unlikely to play in the game. Sprained his ankle early in the Chargers game. Maybe they would have won the game if he had stayed, and he was running really well. So Ramondre sprained ankle, unlikely to play on Thursday night. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett, high ankle sprain during the game against Arizona, which is a brutal loss for the Steelers. They got pummeled by Arizona. The Steelers look like the soft team in that game, not Arizona. James Conner runs all over them. Kenny Pickett leaves another game, and Mike Tomlin's got to answer questions today about Pickett. Is he injury prone? He leaves a lot of games. I'm not even making light of it. That's actually what happens. High ankle sprain, same ankle that had been injured previously for Pickett. He was on the injury report going into the game with this ankle. He has surgery this morning. The Steelers are not going to place him on IR, and the reports are they're hoping that he'll be back by Week 18 when they take on the Baltimore Ravens, maybe for a playoff spot. So Pickett's definitely out on Thursday, going to be out for a little bit. Mitch Trubisky will be the Steelers' starting quarterback on Thursday, and then they'll go from there. We'll see how Mitch does against Bill Belichick's defense. Ken, the Steelers right now are 6-point favorites against the Patriots. The total is 30 at BetMGM. What a game. Pen, pencil, blood, or blank, Pittsburgh and New England.
Yeah, but I as crazy as this all sounds, right? Steelers, did you watch the game yesterday? They're going to be 6 against a team again. They're going to get completely outplayed. And as much as you look at the total, be 30? Really? 30? It's okay. What's it supposed to be then? What? You want to bet the over? Good luck. Let me watch the game at 6-0. The game, it's a home game against the Chargers, 6-0.
We just got the New England practice report.
It's Monday.
Ramondre didn't practice.
Yeah.
Well, because we're going to get an estimated practice report for Pittsburgh coming up soon here. We just got
you can't gloss over that either. I know he's been awful, Stevenson, but come on.
You need him because it's Zeke otherwise.
Who can create an explosive play on the Patriots offense? That was an unanswerable question before. Now it's even worse because the guy who had done it last year can't do it because he's not playing.
Is the if you're gonna bet this game, and I honestly I don't even think what I'm about to say passes the laugh test because I want to laugh saying it out, but seriously, if you're gonna bet this game, should you bet the Patriots to win the game?
No,
and just play into randomness.
No, because I think randomness works. I know you do this a lot, and the Patriots could have beat the Chargers yesterday. I actually think you made a good bet, and the bet lost. And they were I think they were live to win based on how the game played out. I could just as easily say shouldn't I bet the Steelers minus 16.5?
Sure.
Or something. Or bet them to win 31-0. But to your point, so I guess what you're asking is which side would you rather bet? That side. Definitely that side. Steelers off a terrible loss with this coach, home against a neutered team. Yeah.
And they're more talented.
Yeah. I think this is, there are bad games, but there can be bad games that have scoring. They're just bad quarterbacks and the teams are bad and they got bad records, but the total's a reason. This is it's the worst of the worst. It's a bad game that's actually really unwatchable. It's actually brutal. And maybe that makes it watchable for the sickos and to see how Al Michaels intends to get through this 3 hours while having his steak dinner at halftime. I don't think there's anything crazy here. I'm trying to figure out ways to play the Steelers. There really aren't any that are appealing. Not teasing. They'll pay a huge tax. The money line's really, really, really tough to swallow. This, it's just, I think this is right. I think they're actually this likely to win.
Ken, I don't know if you knew this or not. I only know because I saw, I think Pro Football Talk tweeted it. The Patriots are the first team since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals.
Ah, yes.
Not
the Chi Cards.
Not the Chicago Bears. Not the Arizona Cardinals.
Did the Bidwells own the Chicago Cardinals? Their great-great-great-grandfather? Yeah,
well, they may not be owning the Arizona Cardinals much longer.
That's
if they
true.
Keep going at this rate. The first team since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals to lose 3 straight games while allowing 10 points or fewer in each of the 3 losses. It's like Ron Burgundy in Anchorman when Baxter eats the wheel of cheese. Not even mad. It's amazing.
The biggest game from yesterday most high leverage game by far was Eagles Niners. Do you feel like you learned enough in that game to say anything definitively, like the Niners are the best team in the league, the Eagles are not going far in the playoffs, Brock Purdy is going to win MVP? Like, there's a lot of high leverage stuff that comes out of that game that has possibilities. Did you come away from that game with any strong opinions here in a couple minutes?
Oof. I mean, I think it was just a good kind of reminder about the value of extra rest at this time of year, if nothing else. The way that game was talked about in the week leading up to it was making my brain break, because some people were like, how could the Niners be favored against the mighty Eagle? What? This is crazy. And then other people being like, see, the market is telling you that the Niners are clearly better than the Eagles by the spread. And I was like, I mean, they're probably a little bit better, but the spread really, I thought, was kind of a telegraphing of the issues with the Philadelphia defense. Really, their health and their kind of slippage, their secondary, and the fact that they had been on the field for 40 minutes against the Bills a week prior, and it's like it was going to be a tough ask for them to cover the speed that San Francisco brings to the table. And I thought the Eagles for a quarter really kind of let their horses kind of go in the pass rush, and they made a good impact for a little while, and then they ran out of gas, and then it was just whatever San Francisco wanted, however they wanted it. The major takeaway, I think, spoke less to kind of the fabric of the NFC, because it does absolutely tilts the balance of the one seed, assuming that Philadelphia kind of doesn't run the table here. But the rematch between these teams is going to be very, very different in the playoffs, considering it'll be a more of a neutral situation, and assuming that neither one of these teams has massive injuries heading into that game, or an especially impactful physical matchup in the week before. So I think you're going to have to pretty much clean the slate and have a whole totally fresh handicap when these two teams play again. Eagles had like a 33rd percentile game, and the Niners had like a 95th percentile game, and that's why the score was so lopsided. And I think the Eagles probably will learn some lessons from this about what they need to do to fix their defense. They already signed Shaq Leonard off the street to help shore up the linebacking core, so they're going to be a different looking defense by the time these two teams play again. And I would expect a more competitive game, surely. But the other kind of key obvious takeaway from that game was, Purdy, I think, has put a nail in the coffin of the Hurts MVP case, at least for the time being. Hurts defeating Dak this week, I think, helps Purdy even more. If it comes down to, Purdy and Dak down the stretch, Purdy's got a much softer schedule down the home stretch. The idea that the Cowboys aren't going to trip over themselves fighting up against the likes of the Bills the next week after this Eagles game, like they go through a little mini gauntlet here, playing at Bills, at Miami after they host Philly. So I think there's definitely room for Dak to have sort of that kind of high profile loss that the voters love to punish you for, and will kind of even open the door more for Purdy, who is right now clearly leading the NFL in total EPA generated, which is always a good indicator of a guy who's playing clean football and getting his team to wins, and that coinciding with the one seed in the NFC, I think would be enough to secure the award.
We're not going to do MVP in full today. We'll do it on Thursday. I think he's right that like Hurts is almost a zero. Like I think that game actually like zeroed him out as a chance to win.
We had talked in the weeks leading up to this game. This is obviously before yesterday, and the Chiefs lose to the Packers. And everyone always has the opportunity and the right to change their minds. It's why we literally call this a pen, pencil, blood, or blank. Like pencil, not pen, obviously. And like new information presents itself, you can change your mind, obviously. So like I think both of us had been on the we like the Chiefs in this game because Buffalo always loses, Kansas City always wins. Then I guess Kansas City did go ahead and foul that up last night by losing to the Green Bay Packers. Are you kind of off Kansas City a little bit here? Les, following the Eagles loss on Monday Night Football, we're both like, hey, we still think this team's going to win the Super Bowl. Then get down 14-0, storm back against the Raiders, lose on Sunday night on the road to Jordan Love and the Packers, and Green Bay's led from pillar to post, led the entire game. Are you out a little bit right now on KC? Not saying they're going to miss the playoffs or lose in the first round to the Colts or something like that, but are you out on the Chiefs right now?
I'm out on them on this part of their schedule in the regular season. Definitely out. They don't look sharp. They don't they do a lot of things wrong. They don't seem like a team I'd want to play on right now, honestly. And they played that way. Their last 5 games, they're 2-3. Like, this isn't just like some one game overreaction kind of thing. They just don't look like a team I'd want to play on right now. Do I still have confidence they can be a Super Bowl champion contender? Yeah, absolutely. I had 3 teams in the bucket, and I feel confident I had the Super Bowl champion, 8 weeks ago, whenever we did this. And you can tell it's 8 weeks ago because Joe Burrow in Cincinnati was one of the teams. Kansas City, San Francisco, and then I said Cincy because that's the team that's like giving Mahomes the most problems. If I had to do I'm sure if people had to do the bucket right now, even if they agreed with me before, you'd be throwing in teams left and right, probably based on what we've seen recently and being really not confident. I'd take Cincinnati out, obviously, but I would have the same 2 teams and feel really confident. And I think I've actually been aided in the fact that San Francisco is now like a very worthy second team, I think, to have in the bucket and feel like you have the Super Bowl champion, probably taking some of the probability away from Kansas City, honestly. And I still feel like if I have those 2, I have the winner, just to give you an idea of like where I would be in the playoffs on these teams.
I'm starting to come back around on my preseason Super Bowl pick. The Miami Dolphins. If Van Ginkel's going to look like that rushing the passer with Jalen Phillips
well, can they
out,
be the one? That's the key. Can Kansas City go to their place, which is now possible because of what happened yesterday?